$5 from Farron. Keep it going. Keep the momentum going. I appreciate that. We've been kicking ass lately. We've kind of just been doing the same entertaining show, and the fans love it and everything, but it's really who we've been upsetting and who we've been making rage the out lately that really has us going. That is, I gotta say, Nick Melting Down, Patrick, Carl, Moody, all these guys, we're making them all break out in facial sores. Let's go to Numero Uno. Says people are loving comparing Rekieta toe numbers, but what really is interesting is if they type Karen Reed trial into YouTube and scroll down looking at views, there's 100 to 400,000 on LawTube coverage. Yeah, I saw Kurt is beating Nick. Everybody's beating Nick. Nick's pretty much in last place in LawTube. And as far as our show goes, it's his big comeback to trial streaming, which is the most views he's ever going to get, which is about 2,000. We do about our little 700, 800. But you look at 13,500 subscribers versus 455,000 subscribers, the viewership to subscriber base we're kicking the shit out of him. So even if you wanted to go that route, which, I don't really care, but if you want to go that route, we're winning that one too. Numero Uno also says Nick's numbers are trending rapidly down. Yeah. They were at 32. Now they're down to 2. And they'll go down further because A, he's not a lawyer anymore. B, people just own him. People troll him in his chat and he just flames out about it and just switches it up and all this other shit. And then also he goes on Twitter and he flips his lid and he goes ape shit. So he's not a very difficult guy to rattle. We've proven that. Jane and John Doe with $5 says, Sean, Martin said in a stream with Libertarian Podcast Review that MN Public Records has about 70 pages of documents waiting to drop. Any insight? Let me tell you something about Sean Martin. There was a boxer named Everett Bigfoot Martin or Charles Bigfoot Martin. And it makes me want to call Sean Bigfoot Martin. Let me tell you something about Sean Martin. That guy is solid. That guy is a steel trap. You say anything to him, he doesn't say a word. Someone else says something to him, he doesn't say a word to you. So do I know that there's 70 pages of MN Public Records documents? Yes, I do know that. Do I know anything about them or have I heard anything from Sean? Not a goddamn word. Not a goddamn word. In fact, whenever Sean knows something, I go, it doesn't bother. I shouldn't even bother asking, should I? And he says, no, you shouldn't. I said, fair enough. Numero Uno says, so it's even worse. Nick's drop is even worse than I thought. 50,000 to 32 to 26 to 21. Think he's plateaued in the 20s. I don't think he's plateaued in the 20s. I think he's going to go under that. It looks like he's going to go under. And it looks like he doesn't have the roster of people. See, back in the day, he had a roster of people who actually knew shit and could make his channel. Now he only has him, and he doesn't know shit. He got outworked by my divorce lawyer when he phantom represented April. He got worked. Tried to throw that NDA shit out there. He got his own case mishandled and wrong. Sean nailed it the whole time. He got my case wrong. I knew what was going on, so I'm a better lawyer than he is. His whole thing on his channel when he actually had numbers, now he's last in LawTube. His biggest thing was he had people who were really smart come on and talk about the case, and he would go, am I right? Weird and funny. And then that was it. Now without that roster, without those people, and with the damage to his reputation, he's going to be in the maybe 10 to 15,000 range on popular trials. And even worse than that when there's no trials. And again, if you really want to do the Aaron versus Nick thing, which if you want to compare a local shock jock broadcaster to the former #1 YouTube super chat LawTube guy, yeah, subscriber to viewership, I'm kicking his ass. And my trend is either holding or up, and his trend is plummeting down. So I don't know what to tell you. King of all Yetis, Farron is being facetious when she says he created LawTube. Farron goes, but he created LawTube. King of all Yetis goes, no, he didn't. Yeah, that was the joke. That was the joke. Numero Uno says he can always feel better comparing his views to a local St. Cloud radio live stream, though. Yes, that's kind of the point. You understand that having 450, like, I'm being compared, and it's close, like, and in some metrics I'm ahead. I'm being compared to a guy with 500,000 followers. If that's not a win for the toe, I don't know what is. Also, like he said, I'm going to do some kind of Q&A thing at Melton's event, which Melton's event is flailing. They keep trying to add more things and more ways to give him money. Like, that thing ain't going as well as I think they thought it did, which I don't say that with glee. That really kind of sucks because that's my box office. That whole event only exists because I exist. So if that event fails the way it's failing right now, it means that I'm not as box office as I thought. And that kind of eats ass for me. So I don't want it to fail. But Nick's like, I'll do this AMA. He said to them, I'll do this AMA and nobody can film it. I'm going to throw, I can't give you the exact number. I'll ballpark it. Over a dozen. I had over a dozen people DMing me on Twitter alone saying, Aaron, I'm going to record this thing and I'll send it to you. You decide if you want to use it. So, guys, I don't know if announcing the whole no recording, no phones thing was a good idea. I would have advised you against it. So we'll have if they do decide to do that, we'll have some video and audio of it. That should be a lot of fun. Let's go to Numero Uno says, this little piggy was doing insane copes claiming court coverage isn't insanely popular. Don't they have hundreds of thousands of people watching that shit on YouTube at a time? Isn't Emily D. Baker doing like 30 or 40,000 at a time? Kurt was doing 4,000 today, and they weren't even doing the trial. They were just talking about it, and 4,000 people were watching. So, yeah. The Piggy show started as like a let's make fun of Aaron show back when things were going rough for me with the cases and the the divorce and all that stuff. But now it's fun to watch. That Piggy show has just become their cope and therapy hug box session for when I taunt them, make fun of them, and tease them. It's actually become really nice. It's almost become an extra promotional steel toe tool. I like that. Fair and Balanced says, this little piggy created LawTube. This little piggy destroyed LawTube. This little piggy got arrested. This little piggy is going to jail. I don't know what MN Public Records has, but MN Public Records does have, I guess, a shitload of material. Numero Uno, John, and I think that's going to... I mean, because remember, he had like the Dear John moments and the other meltdowns while he was still coping with the drugs and the alcohol. Now, without the drugs and the alcohol to soften the blow, now that stuff comes out and he's sober. Oh, God, you guys didn't hear the biggest thing. Josh from Mad at the Internet, Kiwi Farms Josh. Nick texted Josh. Nick was texting him, and Nick was saying, take down that MN Public Records thing. I want you to take that down and delete it. The April address. And Josh is like, no, I'm not taking down MN Public Records thing. And Nick was like, no, you have to take it down. It's blah, 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 blah. And they got into this thing. And how can I say this? Josh told him, stop being unfaithful. And Josh literally just read him the riot act and gave him the dad speech that Nick doesn't get because he wasn't ever raised. He wasn't brought up. It's actually kind of a tragic story when you get to know the guy. But he was never raised properly. He was never brought up. He was never taught how to be a man. It's unfortunate. He gave Josh a shower call and tried to get him to take down that address. Now, Nick has told this lie to the Onion crowd, and the Onion crowd is stupid, so they believe it, that April has a job and a boyfriend. Now, we also know that Nick lies about everything. So when Nick says something, you can pretty much assume the opposite is true. So that means that he's still seeing her. He's still seeing her at that house. I mean, eyewitnesses, according to MN Public Records, have seen his vehicle there. And also, nobody had confirmed that this was a dox until Nick texted Josh to confirm it was an accurate dox. Just like they weren't sure we could confirm that his daughter tested positive for cocaine until he texted Josh and confirmed it. So he's kind of the dumbest guy who ever lived. But it's also, to me, confirmation that those two are still seeing each other, and Nick's worried he's going to get in a lot of trouble if that stays out there. So, I mean, when they started putting that address in his chat, didn't he made it like subscribers only, then he made it members only, then he's like, I'm going to take the chat to locals or whatever. got bad. It got bad. Mr. Free Speech wanted Josh to take down a post because Nick knew it was going to with his life. Well, here's my thing. And look, I used to be like, when I was in my 20s and early 30s, I was like Nick. Everything was everyone else's fault. But you grow up, you make mistakes, you up, you acknowledge your ups, and you realize I am where I'm at because of the totality of the decisions I've made, not anyone else. And with him, he's in this position of having to call Josh, and MN Public Records is releasing what they're releasing because he's made dog shit, terrible, evil human being decisions, and he's not repentant for them. So basically, this is MN Public Records' way of saying, you're going to learn. And so far, he hasn't learned. So he's going to take those 70 pages of documents that he has, and he's going to dole them out slowly until Nick learns. And if he doesn't learn, then he's got, I'm guessing, a dozen or so reveals coming down the road, plus whatever MN Public Records finds out in the meantime. Numero Uno says, Nick keeps claiming no one would have known about any of his sexual proclivities if Aaron hadn't said anything. Lamau, how do people believe this stuff? They want to. Nick, his whole life now is basically reacting to what I do. I create, I do things. He reacts to it. And now he has to just get whatever group of people he can believing this horseshit. Now, it says in court documents that people in the community were wary of the relationship that he was having with April and I. That relationship looked weird to people. So it's, I mean, you're doing streams in a hot tub. You're, we're parading all this stuff out in the community, out in public. I mean, Nick's the classic dipshit who can't see outside of his own self and realize that people know more than you think they do. Kids know more than you think they do. And I know that from what I heard from the CPS people, from what was said in those interviews. Definitely kids know more than what you think they do. And that was heartbreaking and a big-time wake-up call. Couldn't believe it wasn't one for him. Fair and Balance says, there you go. Aaron is a great dude. Admit your faults. He's done it. Love you, dude. Not a great dude. I'm a remarkably flawed human being who's probably better than I've ever been just for the mere sake of going, that was wrong, I won't do that again. It's a low bar, but I'm far from a great dude. I'll work on it, though.